Hi everyone. I wanted to bring a thought on Parshat Beshalach. So there's Gemara in Sota that talks about who wanted to go into the water first. So there's a machloket between Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Yehuda. So Rabbi Meir says that all of the Shvatim were arguing over who would get to go in first. And meanwhile, while everyone's arguing, Shevet Binyamin, they started to go into the water. Shevet Yehuda saw this and they started to throw rocks at them because, we're still deciding why you're going in now. So Tosafot brings a mashal to this because both tribes were rewarded for their actions. So the mashal is of a king who asks his two sons, one is older, one is younger, to wake him up at different times. The older one is told to wake him up 3 hours into the day, and the younger son is told to wake him up at daybreak. So when the younger son goes to wake up the king, the older one sees him and says, the king didn't want to be woken up so early, wake him up in a few hours. So while they're arguing, the king wakes up and he says, since you both acted in my honor, you're both going to be rewarded. So what was the reward for Shevet Binyamin? So half of the Beit HaMikdash was in his portion in Eretz Yisrael, and in that portion was the Kodesh HaKadashim, the holiest part of the temple, and half of it was also in Shevet Yehuda's property. And not only that, but Shevet Yehuda also had the Malchut, the kingship through King David. So that's one opinion of Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Yehuda says, no, all the tribes were afraid to go into the water. They were discussing who should go in first. They were pushing it off. And meanwhile, Nachshon ben Aminadav of Shevet Yehuda, he walked in himself. He said, I'm going in. And after he went in, the rest of Shevet Yehuda started to follow. And then the rest of the Shvatim followed them. And as a reward, the lineage of the Melech, of David HaMelech, came straight from Nachshon ben Aminadav. That was his reward. So whichever interpretation is brought, the bottom line is we see that if someone acts l'shem shamayim and they have Hashem's interest at heart, so their actions will endure, and someone should act l'shem shamayim, should do what's right, and you see the far-reaching consequences of your actions, that they both were rewarded with these great things through an action that came from the heart, and they acted zealously in God's honor. Shabbat Shalom, and hope to see you soon.